What's going on, self-storage investing fans? Coach Roel here. And in this video, I thought it would be a good idea to continue with a topic that caters to some of the newer members of our self-storage investing community. Every so often I try to grab Scott and pick his brain on some more intermediate and advanced topics for those in our community that are already investing or already have acquired a self-storage investing, or have acquired a self-storage facility, or they've already taken a few classes with us and they're already familiar with the terminology and the strategies, and they're actively looking to acquire a facility themselves. So I also wanted to make sure that that we also take care of some of the newer members of our community, as I mentioned, and cover some topics that the newer investor would appreciate learning about. So, which brings us to the topic of, as you see on the screen here, different classes of facilities. So you see that we have this terminology of Class A, Class B, Class C facilities. And as you can imagine, Class A is top of the line. Actually, Class A is turning to like A++, and it's kind of open-ended on the high end. Class B is, as you would imagine, middle of the road. And Class C facilities are kind of an all-encompassing bottom of the barrel, I guess. Some of them are not necessarily in a really too super rough shape, but some of them could be in really rough shape in Class C. So Class A properties typically feature excellent locations, as you can imagine, and access that attracts tenants willing to pay rent in the upper percentile of the market. The facilities must be of superior construction and finish, relatively new or competitive with new facilities, and provide professional on-site as well as off-site management. These are typically located in markets with high barriers to entry, and they are characterized by above-average maintenance and security systems. So here's an example, if I can get it to go to the next slide. Boom, a facility that kind of looks like this. This is one of the larger chains in the UK, actually. Here in the US, you may be familiar with like Public Storage, Extra Space, what else? Life Mart, Cube Smart. These are larger chains. Some of them are REITs. REIT stands for Real Estate Investment Trust. And they are highly visible. And the Class A facilities are the ones that are really responsible for new or aspiring self-storage investors to thinking that, the market is already saturated. They're dominated by these massive complexes that look really state-of-the-art, and how am I possibly going to compete with those guys? Well, in actuality, those REITs, those large chains, they account for a small percentage of the overall self-storage number of units in the United States, at least, which is the largest market for self-storage in the entire world. So the rest of the market is made up of Class B and Class C facilities. Now, Class B facilities, these are ones with average locations, access, and visibility. And these sites, they command rents that are at the low end of a Class A facility, and above the Class C facility, obviously. They receive average to good maintenance and have a full-time on-site manager almost all the time. Like there's someone to take care of the facility, physically present, and they have competent off-site management. The quality of construction and security system ranges from average to good. Here's an example. As you can see there, they would have typically a fence around the entire facility that either is locked and it can only be accessed by people who either have the key, or more and more so these days, they would the fence surrounding the facility would have a touchpad and kind of like a input pad at some of the car washes where you put in a code to open that gate. So that's what you would typically find at the gate at the entrance of these Class B facilities. Now, how about Class C facilities? These sites are in less desirable locations relative to the tenant's needs. They often have poor access and limited visibility. So they're not necessarily on a busy street, maybe off on a side street somewhere. And they're typically older facilities with functional and or economic obsolescence. They would achieve rents at the bottom of the market and are often owned and operated by individuals as opposed to the Class A facilities that are owned by like REITs and big business, as I mentioned. And they may not have an on-site manager at all. The quality of the construction and the maintenance ranges from fair to average, and often these facilities have minimal or no security and receive below average maintenance. So an example would be maybe something that kind of looks like this. So there's really no fence around this one. There's really nothing stopping the general public from just walking onto the grounds and being able to touch the doors. At least there would be a lock for sure for each individual owner on each of these roll-up doors, but they're typically not climate controlled, and as you can see, it's okay, it's secure, but not necessarily in the best condition. So what do we look for as self-storage investors with an intention to actually make money? Well, basically we look for Class C facilities with the potential to be brought up to a Class B facility. That's the sweet spot. Class A, that is really for advanced investors and for the REITs, where somebody like you or I would want to enter this market. It would really be the Class C facilities with the potential that it can be improved to a Class B. Now, the location would not necessarily be off on a side street somewhere where there's really not going to be much traffic, drive-by traffic. But if I were to say a Class C building facility physically located on a Class B location, if that makes sense. Because then the facility can be improved with someone who knows what they're doing, like somebody from our community with the guidance of their fellow community members. There could be a fence that could be put around it, some security systems, some asphalt, some cleaning up of the landscape. You've seen some overgrown weeds there near the building. A proper gate with code access, maybe even some automation like a kiosk. In this day and age with this unprecedented pandemic that we're going through, contactless service is a trend that actually has been growing in the self-storage industry for quite a while now. So if you can imagine this facility that has no fence that you see on the screen there, no fence, really no manager, just a phone number, and somebody off-site may or may not answer that phone for inquiries. If the facility would lend itself to it, you could put a kiosk at the entrance of this facility, put a fence around it with an electronic keypad to restrict access. These kinds of things is what we would look for in a facility, in acquiring a Class C facility, and with the effort and the intention of bringing it up to a Class B. And in doing so, by increasing the income with improved marketing, etc., and decreasing expenses, ideally, you increase the gross profit. And if you caught one of my videos from a few weeks ago on capitalization rates, or cap rates for short, that increase of income and decrease of expenses has a direct effect on the valuation of a property. And that's where, in short, we make our money as self-storage investors. So there you have it, Class A, Class B, Class C facilities. Hopefully that helps, especially if you're kind of new to this community of ours. We welcome your comments, and hopefully we'll see you soon in another video in the very near future. Once again, my name is Coach Roel, and thanks for stopping by. Hey, thanks again for joining us here at Self-Storage Investing. We really, really appreciate it. For more great content like this, make sure to click the subscribe button below this video. And be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and BiggerPockets. You can also visit us at our main website at selfstorageinvesting.com, where you'll find even more free content, our ebook, and registration to our free webinars and education courses, and much, much more. Once again, for more great content like this, please click the subscribe button below. Thank you.